circumstances. I liked how he said he doesn't worry about Cutler. Not surprised to hear it. He talked to him yesterday. Cutler bouncing back is no issue. Cutler is more of a leader on this football team than I think many realize. I think he pushes the positive, and guys have not quit. And I think he's part of the reason. I got to tell you this, Jimmy. When I listened to the post-game sound after the game, it was interesting, and I didn't count. I can't recall, and maybe he's done it other times through the years, him using the word, not today, but he used the word appreciate so many times after the game. I thought it was fascinating. On the punt returns, which destroyed Kentucky, he said UK has given up only 25 yards all year in yardage, and they got destroyed against a great punt returner. And he said, hey, the kid just missed the tackle. And that happens. And it's probably, as everyone knows, the difference in the game. And he said also that, guess what? Kentucky has improved in a lot of areas. And you know what? I'm not disagreeing. That was a big-time defensive performance by Brad White. And I think I put up at the half Saturday night that it would be shame for these kids to lose the game with the defense that they were playing. And I meant it then, and I meant it now. But if you would have told me that Kentucky would have almost 400 yards of total offense, first of all, you know what I told you, Jimmy? If you'd have said that to me on Friday, I said, Jimmy, do you need to take a drug test? Come on, who would have thought that? You know, and I got to tell you, I hate to be mean, but Arch Manning's not a very good quarterback. He's just not a very good quarterback. He might become one. And that's the kind of thing Sarkisian can get fired. Not today, not tomorrow, but, you know, at what point do you say enough is enough and you pull the plug? Now, I don't think that time is close. I don't think it's close at all. And he might get much better. But Cutler was so much better of a quarterback, it's not even funny. Last one before we go to the break. Jimmy, you've heard me talk about this before, and I've asked you before. We're going to do it again because our audience has grown tremendously since the first time I did it. This has been a pet peeve of mine since before you were born, Jimmy. Here's the deal. When you sack a quarterback, and Cutler was sacked 5 times, you sack a quarterback and let's say it's a loss of 6 yards, you know, something like that, and you add it all up. And that's minus rushing yards on the quarterback. That sucks. It's a dumb blank rule. It's dumb. What you do is you have to put it in the stats, but there should be an extra stat, rushing yards lost via sack, something like that. Someone will think of something better than me. Cutler had over 90 yards rushing. If my math is right, that was spectacular. And by the way, I don't know if we're going to play the soundbite today. We might play it later in the week, but he was ticked off. Didn't like the fact somebody questioned his athleticism. Do you think they were surprised about your athleticism? He didn't like it, and I don't blame him. First of all, if you don't think the other teams know he's athletic, you got rocks in your head, one. And two, I think it's a ridiculous question. It's borderline on something else, and I'm not going to use the word. You know what I'm thinking, Jimmy?
I know exactly what you're thinking, and I bet you Cutler's been hearing that his whole life. And that, yeah.
Okay, I want your counsel on this one. Do you think I'm wise? I'm no filter, but not everything needs to go on radio. I've said that before, but I'm as close as it gets. Not everything belongs on radio. Do you think if I would use what you're thinking and I'm thinking, and look at this way, I think the audience is smart. I do, by the way. Yeah. And if you can't figure it out, that's fine. I'm not calling you a dumbass. I'm not. But if I use certain words, you think this would cause a firestorm that'd be ridiculous?
I don't know if it'd be a firestorm, but yeah, I could see it rubbing some people the wrong way.
Okay. And by the way, if I use that word, do I think it would create more attention to the show, which would help the show? Yes. But I don't do that. The question is, I really don't. I just do me. And if me gets attention, that's beautiful. That's what I want. But you agree with me 1,000%, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what? Do you know what radio is? I don't know if I've ever explained it. Now, Jonathan's in the hopper. Radio, I was taught by somebody who's much smarter than me. I learned so much from Darryl Parks, the former program director for all the stations up in Cincinnati. To me, if I've never shared this with you, this will be the best thing I will ever say to you with your radio career. Now, have I ever said that to you?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. So that tells you, since we spent, you realize we're like a little over a week away from 3 years. You've survived me.
Who would have guessed?
Well, not me, one. And two, you know, I've noticed your hairline is receding. You're not going to blame me, are you?
No, I'm getting more grays. I know that. That could be the 3-year-old at home. that could also be a part of it.
Okay, so you have your wife, your 3-year-old, and me. You're going to suggest I'm the creator of more gray hair?
No, not the majority of it. Maybe a couple of them.
I'm in there somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not number one. I would actually feel bad if you really meant it. I know we're teasing and stuff like that. Radio is, are you ready for this? This would be worthy of a drum roll. Theater of the mind. Take that into your show tomorrow. Theater of the mind. I didn't say lying of the mind. I said theater of the mind. Now, you have an interesting look on your face. You just figured me out much better, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, the theater of the mind is a great explanation for radio.
You know, and I wish I thought of it. No. And I got to tell you, I'm sitting in Darryl Parks' office up in Cincinnati. This is before 2010. Absolutely. I was already doing the Bengals radio network, and it's probably around 2006. That's how long ago. And I spent 1 hour with Darryl Parks, and I learned more about radio in 1 hour with Darryl Parks than anything I had done for decades and decades. And I remember saying to him, I'm not kissing your you-know-what, but where the heck have you been my whole career? He helped me more, and I still have notes from that conversation. Theater of the mind. Darryl Parks, you're in Buffalo. God bless you. You helped me more than you have any idea. And it's not like we were best friends. Shouldn't say this, but I'm not going to say it. Anyway, Jimmy, what do you think the percentage of the audience understood what I just said? I think it's high, but you give me a guess as to how many people understood, circling back about what I didn't say about why Cutter Boley was ticked off and what the inference was about Cutter Boley being athletic enough. I think I don't need to say anymore. What percentage of the audience do you think understood all that?
I'd probably give it somewhere between 60, 70%.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And I'd actually like to think, and I could be wrong, it's actually higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cutter's just always been described as a sneaky athlete, you could say. It's another one, a good superlative for someone.
That's really good.
Yeah. Not fast, but more fast than quick. Top end speed. Yeah. I have all of them as someone who grew up playing sports. Did playing wide receiver. Yeah.
Did you get that crap also?
Oh yeah.
What'd you run the 40 in?
4.69 was the fastest. So I was never the speed guy, but
playing
pickup basketball, you go out there and dunk, and then everyone looks at you like, well, like you have 4 eyes. It's like, yeah, I can.
Well, tell everybody how tall you are.
6'3".
Okay, you're 6'3", you could dunk. Could you dunk in high school?
Yeah.
When was your first dunk? Because you don't forget the first kiss, right?
No. Yeah. Yeah.
First dunk, and we'll leave the third one out.
I was end of my summer of sophomore to junior year. I hit a growth spurt and then was finally able to.
Wow, that's really impressive. Standing jump, or did you have to take a running jump?
That was a running jump. By senior year, I was able to just stand and just dunk 2 hands off of vertical.
That's impressive.
I can still do it every year. I have to just make sure I can.
Wait a second. You're 30 what? I always forget.
34.
Can you still dunk?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep doing it. The first year that I can't, that's gonna be a tough one to accept.
It'll be depressing.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at the positive side. How many guys from high school who could dunk are still dunking, not playing ball, and when they're 34?
Yeah, not very many.
I don't think there's very many either. We are late for Jonathan Davis. I'm just chuckling. If somebody wants to send a nasty thing about what I didn't say, God bless, more power to you. Actually, I thought that was very tactful on my part.
I think it was.
And it's rare that you could say I was tactful about anything.
Yeah.
Last one we go before the break. The thing I did about 14 seconds, which, by the way, will be our clip of the day. Do you disagree with a second of that?
No. The only part I could see it, but it goes back to what you said. You don't trust the offense. If you take a sack there, you're done. There's not enough time. You throw a pick, you're done. But that's back to what you said. You should trust that the quarterback would be able to just get rid of it if nothing's there. You shouldn't have time to take a sack.
Right. Get rid of the ball. If you practice that kind of thing, like the end of a shot clock, like a basketball team does. Whew. Okay, Jonathan, you've been in a hopper. Thank you so much. Are you surprised that ticked me off more than anything? Because that alludes to I don't mean to say this to be negative. It's scared coaching. There's conservative and there's scared. You don't trust your players. Give them every opportunity. It'd be one thing if I said, there are 4 seconds left on the clock. Why don't you try to throw the ball? I'm not saying that. We're saying 14 frickin' seconds. And I'm going to harp on this with every football guest we have. Jonathan, thank you for your patience. And I'll tell you what, if you go check this car out, the XC60, there'll be no patience. She'll fall in love. My wife literally fell in love with the car. She just looked at me, Jimmy, and said, make the deal. She did. So we did. And I've said this, and I'm still kind of convinced, unfortunately. I love my wife. My wife loves me, and I think she likes her XC60 Volvo hybrid more than me. I really do, by the way. I know it sounds good for the ad, but I think it's true. She smiles when she mentions the car named Sophia. Okay? She doesn't smile when she sees me all the time. 43 years. The Quattro Auto Group. Look, they're great people to deal with. So you can come in from Danville. You can come in, well, Paducah's a long ride, but you can come in from Danville or Louisville or Frankfurt or whatever, because dealing with these folks makes it easier. And there's a trust factor that, to me, in my world, it's very important. It's very important. And don't forget about the Subaru. 0% interest for 36 months with the Outback. 0% interest. Wow. You want to go 72 months because it fits your budget? 1.9%. Wow. For 72 months. What a deal. Don't forget, the Quattro family of dealerships is the right place to get your next Subaru, and they promise to get you the best in sales, service, and no gimmicks. Jonathan, I'm late. Thank you for your patience. My friend Jonathan Davis coming up next. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler, brought to you by Quantrell Auto Group. QuantrellForLife.com.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. Have a no filter comment? Hit the text line, 859-381-1313. 859-381-1313.
Your season, your shot. Hi, this is Alan Cutler. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown could bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown scorer to anytime TV props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Check out the Bengals in Jacksonville. Do you believe the Bengals can outscore everyone? The points will change during the week. New customers, this one is for you. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code LEXSports. That's code LEXSports to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 18 plus. Kentucky only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
Houchins Insurance Group is proud to partner with Auto Owners Insurance, a company that provides opportunity for independent agents to make insurance simple for their clients, offering risk management services that range from a renter's policy for your college student to home and auto coverage for your entire family. Houchins Insurance Group assures you that nobody works harder to keep you protected from life's uncertainties. Reach out to AJ Boss or Zach Bennett at 859-263-2771 to see if Auto Owners Insurance makes sense for you.
And now, watch Papa John's close down with for specials and discount prices not far behind. Breakfast sandwiches and hot coffee are making on the outside. Great selection of snacks is holding steady while the drive-thru service is rounding out the pack. They're rounding the turn, and it's Clark's Pump and Shop for the win.
Get in the winner's circle with Clark's Pump and Shop. Stop by and pick up 5-hour energy shots, 2 for $4.99, or Rolade sticks. Buy one, get one free. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
Back to No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler. Podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and Google, Monday through Friday.
I feel like I played pretty well. There's definitely aspects of the game that we do here at Kentucky that I got to get better of. But I feel like my teammates, they were all encouraging me, my coaching staff. So I just let the game come to me. I did what I needed to do to help impact winning, and that's all that matters. So.
I know I'm late, and I owe Jonathan Davis an apology, but geez, Jonathan, you're yawning in the commercial break. Are you that excited to talk to me? Hello, old friend, former UK forward center. Come on, we got to bust each other's chops.
Absolutely.
We
How you
haven't
doing, man?
talked
I'm
in a
good.
long time. How's the family? Everything good?
Everybody's, did I tell you I'm expecting grandchild number 3? My daughter's going to have a baby in, they just said February or March.
Wow,
In
Mazel
February.
tov.
Yeah, number 3.
Mazel
Yeah,
tov.
yeah, thanks.
First girl, right?
No, another boy, another boy.
Another boy.
But we're halfway to a team, so. 5'7" footers.
Then when you retire for finance, you'll just become the agent, right?
Right. It's going to work out great.
You can invest the money. You've been investing money for people
Keep
for
it in the
decades.
family, for sure.
You keep it in the family. Oh, let me tell you, as great as boys are, if you're blessed one of these days with a little girl, you will be soft as butter.
I know. Girls are great.
It's unbelievable. Have you wrapped around your finger? Jonathan, I don't know if you went to the Blue White, but I'm sure
I did.
You did. I was looking for you. I didn't see you, but then, your thought as your synopsis of what you saw. And let me throw one thing at you, and I'm going to stop. I have a general thing for years. This has nothing to do with the other night. And you're the perfect person to answer this. By the time you get to the Blue White, you've been in training camp. You're tired. You're sore. You're sick of going against other guys. I never believe, let me repeat, and please correct me. I never believe, whether it was the guys or the girls the other night, or if it was Purdue, I just don't. That when you get to this point and you're playing against each other for a little exhibition for the fans and all that kind of stuff, you're not at 100% because it's the same thing over and over and over, even though you're excited to be in front of people, and that's a little different, and that's really cool. Until you play somebody else, your legs are a little tired, pardon my bad grammar. It'll be different when they go against Purdue. So I always look at when somebody says, boy, they don't look that quick. Well, let's see how much quicker they are when they play Purdue. Let's see how much quicker they play Tennessee, because I think they're going to be quicker. I'm not ripping it, but this is training camp.
I agree. It's just a practice. I mean, there are fans there, but you're right. They're going against each other, for an extended period of time, and they know each other's, weaknesses and strengths. So it's not the same as playing against another opponent. And I'm excited about what we're going to look like against Purdue.
So how concerned is Jonathan Davis on a scale of 1 to 10 with Lowe being out, at least for a while? And I don't think anybody knows, but the obvious guess is he's going to wear some sort of shoulder harness, hopefully not all year, but it wouldn't surprise me because you always get hit on that injury. It's just the way life is. And I don't know how his shoulder's going to be all year. I have no clue. I don't think anybody knows. Depends upon the pounding that he takes. How concerned are you with him being out? Or are you saying, Denzel Aberdeen, you might have been the point guard of Florida this year had you stayed. So really, maybe Kentucky's not in as bad a shape as the fear and worry factor is.
I'm not as worried as I was last year when we lost our point guard, because I feel like this year we don't have a starting 5. We got a starting 10. I think it's a next man up, type of situation. Obviously, Lowe was playing extremely well before he hurt his shoulder. I was there at the game. He was getting everywhere he wanted to get to. He was getting whatever shot he wanted to get. He was getting other guys involved. So he looked really good. And then you hurt your shoulder, and now you're out for a few weeks, or, however long he's out. Getting back up to speed is going to take some time. But I'm not crazy worried, especially as early in the season. There's still plenty of time to figure out, how to move forward and make some adjustments. But I like what Lowe was doing with the ball in his hands before he got hurt. And who knows what happens when he comes back? We can't worry about that. It's next man up.
I think Aberdeen's going to surprise people. That's me. I found it curious, and nobody asked, and I get why there were other issues. Chandler didn't play much. I wonder if he was sore or tired. I'm not starting anything. I'm just dealing with the facts. It's a long time before he got in the game. Mm-hmm. And come on, that sometimes, guys are sore and whatever, and they want to play. And so you play him a couple minutes, that kind of thing. I just thought it was a little odd. Just not something nobody's talking about. I'm just throwing it out there. Not looking to start anything because I'm assuming they're all sore. Maybe he had turned his ankle or something. I have no idea. I don't want anybody to say Cutler said he's got this or that.
Sure.
But facts are, this kid who Pope is praised like crazy, and I think he's going to be a star one of these days. I really do. Played very little. I don't know if you noticed that. It's probably not the best thing to hit you, but I know you're a very observant person, Jonathan.
Mm-hmm. I did notice that as well. I think we have, going back to your previous question, I think we have enough ball handlers to get the ball across the court. It's not a concern. But what I think could augment or could help us as far as not having, low at the point, especially early in the season, is that our shooting's pretty good, especially Noah. I mean, he's shooting the ball so well. He forces people to guard him. He's not super athletic. He's gotten stronger and gotten more athletic. But the thing is that when he's got open and gets his feet set, you can just mark a three down and start heading back down the court. I mean, he was phenomenal. The practices I've seen him play. He's not the only one. Also, Johnson kid, he scores easily. Not that he's a great shooter. It's just that he can put the ball in the basket so easily. And there are other kids, that they were impressive. I like what we've got. I like where we're at right now.
I walked by Noah leaving. Kids were signing autographs, and I'm just trying to, get through. And I walked by Noah and I went, whoa. Dude, you're a lot taller than you were last year. He chuckled, nodded his head, and it was pretty cool because he looked at me, smiled, nodded his head. I think he said yeah, and kept on signing. In other words, he didn't lose any beat. Jonathan, he ain't 6'5".
He slimmed down too. I mean, like I say, the baby fat. He lost the baby fat. He's more lean muscle. A little bit quicker. I like where he's at. And like I said, I love the fact that he's going to force people to guard him, which opens up driving lanes. Again, we don't have a point guard. We've got a lot of great guys who can drive the basketball. So you can drive off of Noah's side. His man has to guard him closely. You can drive. That's a driving lane. You can drive right down past Noah's side.
I'm really glad you said baby fat because I've been using the term baby fat for quite some time that he lost baby fat. I'm not the
That's what it was. I mean, look at it. Yeah. Last year, he looked like he had a little baby fat on him. Like a kid. He's looking like a man now. Looking like a man.
He's probably lifted more weight since he's been here than his entire life.
His whole life, sure.
Yeah,
sure.
And that's not a shot against
his diet's better.
High school
training's better. No, it's just a different. It's a different situation, a different world.
How do I put this?
And more importantly, he's bought into making the changes he needs to make to be a better player. He was a great high school player in the mountains. That's great. That's fine. You're the SEC now, son. You're playing on the big stage. You're playing in front of guys who are going to be in the NBA next year. Being the best player in the mountains is not going to cut it. And he accepted the challenge, and he's risen to it. I'm proud of him.
I am too. I really like how you put that. It's like he looks more like a man than a kid.
He does. He's growing up. And he's accepted the challenge of changing his body.
This is going to sound goofy, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm really big on release points. It's been a pet peeve of mine because mine was so bad. And so I've actually studied it forever. My favorite story I'll say very quick. When I used to do the live shots for TV for 1,000 years, the kids would often come out early to shoot, usually just a couple at a time. Then a whole bunch would come out. And there was a time when Saul Smith came out early, and there's like almost nobody Rupp Arena at that point. And then people start by 6:15. There's a whole lot of people in there. But the first one usually are 5. It's just not very many people there. And I noticed he's shooting from, see where my hands are? It's a little above my shoulders.
Right.
And he's not missing. No. And I'm going, man, he's going to have a great shooting night. The game starts, and how different are my hands?
Right.
Much higher.
Yes.
And he couldn't shoot.
It's a different shot.
Yeah, and I think this is not knocking Saul, but just the way I observe things, I'm going, he went out of his rhythm because he was afraid of getting his shot blocked because he wasn't the tallest guy or whatever, and his shooting was just mediocre. And I saw him do that another time. Well, there was time we were talking for a second because you can talk to kids then a lot easier than you can now. And I said, "Say Saul, da 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 da." I just explained the whole story, and he looked at me, turned, and walked away. It's like, who the blank are you? Whatever. And I don't think I was right. I mean, if you go from here to here, that's a bunch of inches.
Yeah.
Right. And so the point is, I've always observed it. Here's my point. Noah's release point is exactly consistent when he makes it. And this is going to sound stupid. Tell me this is a dumb word to use. It's sweet. His release point is sweet on his shot. Is that too strong?
It's not too strong, and you're hitting on something that we touched on back when I played, and it's called, going at game speed. and shooting game shots. The practice shots you shoot in practice by yourself, it should be the exact same shot you shoot in a game.
Bingo.
And by being game speed, you don't get into a game and become somebody else. You are who you are, and that's, like I said, something that Noah has embraced, and it's going to make him I think a very deadly player this year. I'm Team Noah right now. I'm not being a homer because he's from Kentucky at all. I'm just looking at him as a ball player who has risen to the challenge. He's not the same guy he was last year.
Okay, you're going to tell me I'm nuts. You enjoy doing that, don't you, Jonathan Davis?
I do, and I say it all the time.
It's about me.
Yes. To your face. I mean, I never do it behind your back. To your face, of course.
It's more fun that way. Because of the way the NBA values shooting.
Yes, I know where you're going with this, and the answer is yes.
He's going to play in the NBA.
Yes. That's crazy to think about from what you saw last year to what we're seeing. But what I'm seeing right now, his trajectory, if he makes another big leap between sophomore and junior year, he might not even come back for a senior year. He's a good enough shooter and has enough size, and the way that the game is played now with a premium on guys who can stretch the floor out like that, he could play for a really long time in the NBA. They're guys that have been less athletic than him that played a long time in the NBA.
Bingo.
He's plenty athletic enough. It's a make or miss league. Either you make shots or you miss shots. That boy makes shots. If you make shots, they write you a check.
I like how you put it. That boy makes
shots. It's that simple. He makes shots.
Well, and here's the other thing we're agreeing on without saying, I don't doubt, and neither do you, that whatever work he did in the offseason, he's going to just continue to do and continue to do and continue to do. And I don't know what that certain something is, but I can feel it. You too. I know you can feel it too. This kid has a calmness and confidence about him. I had no idea he had. How could you know that? But I can see it. I can feel it. And now he's a little better off the dribble now, getting a shot away. And so my point is, by the time he leaves here, if he's as smart as I think he is, you know what I would do in the offseason? I bet he did some. I promise you. This is the second thing I've studied like crazy. He should work on his handle as much as his shooting.
Yes, he has.
Shepard made some shots in preseason.
You stole my thunder. I was getting ready to talk about Shepard when you said that. We're like symbiotic here. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
You know what we are? We're brothers from another mother.
We really are. You took the words out of my mouth. We're going to talk about Reed too.
Reed's you're hysterical today, Jonathan. And both on. Reed's ability to create space off the dribble. I haven't seen a ton of clips in preseason, so I don't want to make it up that it's not, but I can see a difference. And he gets enough space off his dribble that he knows he's going to make the shot, and he knows it's not going to be blocked, and he's creating on his own from last year to this year. And I'm looking at this Noah kid, and I'm going, I bet he's going to do the same thing.
Same trajectory. That's exactly where I was going with this. I don't want to put, too much pressure on the kid, or set him up for failure. But I see in him the same kind of, like I said, trajectory that I saw in Reed. And that I first saw Reed play. First time I saw him play a game, junior year, Lexington Catholic in a tournament. It was Christmas time. I think he either had just committed to Kentucky or they were really strong to look at him. I can't remember which, but I was curious. I wouldn't go check them out. And the skill level was there, but the physical ability was not there. He was just kind of puny, kind of weak. I mean, you could bump him off of his, straight line drives. And I said, you know what? If this kid works really hard, maybe by the time he's a junior or senior, maybe he can help us. Well, lo and behold, he gets here, he's a one and done. But I saw in him early in the season as a freshman in UK, I saw his improvement between junior year in high school and what he looked like as a freshman in UK. And I saw that my timeline was off. I mean, my prediction was correct, but he got there much quicker than what I thought he would. And I also saw the big leap, like I said, in Noah this year as well, in that if he remains calm, blocks out the noise, and just makes shots when he's open, like I said, maybe he doesn't even come back next year. By junior year, for sure, he didn't come back because they're going to offer you so much money, you have to leave.
Yeah, I'll be shocked if it's that soon, but I've been known to be wrong every leap
year. If you make shots, who would have thought Reed was a one and done when the season started? Who thought that?
I I was worried.
A one and done.
I
Top
was
10 draft pick. Who thought that? Nobody.
I was worried he's going to get buried on the bench.
I'd say same. I thought he'd be a rotation player by his junior year. Maybe he's a rotation player, and by senior year, he's getting real minutes. He's a one and done. And like I said, Noah's a bigger. He's not as good at ball handler as Reed, but as far as making shots, right there with him. He's a bigger kid. He can give you something different on defense because of his size. I mean, he's going to get a shot.
I saw Reed do a move. I don't know if you saw it. I have to share this with you because you're going to smile. I don't know if I've ever seen somebody righty do this with his left hand. He took a guy off the dribble. Actually, it was Clayton, who I loved at Florida, and I thought should have been drafted higher because he's a great shooter.
They don't take older kids high anymore.
Well, the NBA is dumb
for whatever reason. It is dumb. It's dumb.
It's dumb because
I agree.
Clayton's going to work on his game. By the way, Clayton's a hell of an athlete too.
He's going to be a starter in the NBA
forever. Maybe not right away, but forever.
Forever. Yes.
Plus, he's a big time athlete.
Yes.
He was turned out Notre Dame to play quarterback for crying out loud.
He makes shots.
Yes.
He's a winner.
I thought he was lower part of the top 5.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, he's got the ball, and he's got him one-on-one inside the top of the key. Jonathan Davis, only with his left hand. He did, without crossing it over, he did like a crossover with the dribble with his left hand.
Sham God, that's what it's called. Sham God. When you put the ball on one side, it's called a Sham God. Remember God, Sham God?
Sham God used to do it at Providence.
Sham God, right. It's called Sham God. The move's named after him. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sham God with his left hand. Yeah. Very hard to do.
Thank you for saying that because I forgot. But Sham God did it with his strong hand. This is Shep doing it with his offhand. Mm-hmm. And he went, I don't know if he went right, left, right. He did it twice.
Wow.
And Clayton basically his sneakers, if we can still call them sneakers, were buried to the floor. It was unbelievable. He just pulled up and softly hit about a 12-footer, and I'm going, this thing is freaking beautiful.
Right.
Last comment, and I apologize for being late. This football thing has
no problem. I understand.
Last comment about what you saw that I haven't brought up that's in your cranium, Jonathan Davis, about Blue White or just about the team.
Moreno is going to get playing time.
Amen.
He's going to push to get big minutes. I'm not saying starting doesn't really matter, but he's not going to get buried on the bench at all. That kid can play.
Had a lot of rebounds. Didn't
he? He's physical. He takes up space in there. He can play. Has a soft touch.
And he's fearless.
Yeah.
He does have a soft touch, and he's not getting enough credit for that. And some people say he's not a three-point shooter. He didn't shoot him in high school, but I've watched his shot. He's got a really nice shot. He's going to get
feather when it hits the ring. It's a feather. Yeah.
Give a plug for your business, please, sir.
JT Davis Asset Management for all of your retirement needs. 859-608-6594.
Next week or so, you have time? We can talk about Purdue next week?
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Fit me in your schedule?
Yes, sir. We'll do it.
Yeah, I know I'm late, but I have to ask you this question, Jonathan.
Yeah.
You don't feel any sarcasm coming on, do you?
Sarcasm? Me? Never.
No, from me.
Oh, from you? Always.
You just clip under the gun, don't you? You just do it. Are you concerned that we agreed almost 1,000% for 20 minutes? Aren't you concerned?
A little bit concerned. A little bit. Yeah. The world has, what is it, upside down land or something like that?
I'm just glad you didn't say the world is flat like that baseball player did or something like that. And he was serious. Hey, bless you, brother. It's always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Hope you put us in next week and appreciate your smile.
Thanks, Alan. Have a good one.
You too. Jonathan Davis. Jimmy, he's great. He's just great. It just... You know what the problem with Jonathan is, and you're still on? He knows me too well. On top of being smart, he knows me too well. He just, boom, fires it right back.
Have a good one, man.
See you, man. You agree?
Yes. Every time.
You enjoy it when so many of the guests that we're fortunate to have fire back at me. You always smile when somebody's busting me back. Why is that?
I do. I don't know why. Just makes me smile.
Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From the first touchdown score to anytime TV props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. How about this? This is fascinating. Bengals -6 versus the Jets. That kind of surprised me. And I'll tell you what else surprised me. UK only dogs by 9.5 against Tennessee. That surprised me. I'm going to be fascinated to see, Jimmy, how much this changes as the week goes on. Really? Bengals, if Flacco is standing up, really? I don't get it. Check that out with DraftKings. Check it out. New customers, this is for you. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code LEXSports. That's code LEXSports to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet, plus over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER, 18 plus, Kentucky only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler, brought to you by Quantrell Auto Group. QuantrellForLife.com.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. Have a no-filter comment? Hit the text line, 859-381-1313. 859-381-1313.
Prices out far behind, breakfast sandwiches and hot coffee are making it on the outside. Great selection of snacks is holding steady while the drive-through service is rounding out the pack. They're rounding the turn, and it's Clark's Pump and Shop for the win!
Get in the winner's circle with Clark's Pump and Shop. Stop by and pick up Sour Patch or Swedish Fish peg bags, 2 for $6, or Jack Link's Jerky, 3 1/4-ounce bags, 2 for $11. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
My name is Terry Schultz, CEO for the Rutherford County Area Habitat for Humanity. Republic Bank has really been a game changer. They have invested not only financially, but time to really listen so that we can move our mission forward. What I like about Republic Bank is they've come in asking, what are your needs? And I don't know that you get that any other place.
That's Terry's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. The Quantrell Auto Group has a great deal for this month. Subaru. The Outback is special, so check this out. 0%. That's right, 0% interest for 36 months. And if you want to spread it out to 72 months, 1.9%. What a deal. 0% interest for 36 months. Don't forget, the Quantrell family of dealerships is the right place to get your next Subaru, and they promise you the best in sales, service, and no gimmicks.
Houchins Insurance Group is proud to partner with Auto Owners Insurance, a company that provides opportunity for independent agents to make insurance simple for their clients, offering risk management services that range from a renter's policy for your college student to home and auto coverage for your entire family. Houchins Insurance Group assures you that nobody works harder to keep you protected from life's uncertainties. Reach out to AJ Boss or Zach Bennett at 859-263-2771 to see if Auto Owners Insurance makes sense for you.
I'm Kathy Binkaman. Over the holiday, there was an attempted fraud attack. My personal banker, Mary Rose, and I networked together, and the first thing that I thought of was I have to text her. And it was just within the next few minutes, there was an entire team that came together collectively. And that's just not the type of service that you typically get from your bank.
That's Kathy's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
W223CV Lexington. ESPN Sports Radio 1392.5. WLXG Lexington and LM Communications Broadcasting Station. The only no-filter sports show in Kentucky. It's the Alan Cutler Show with award-winning TV sportscaster Alan Cutler.
Welcome back. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM. Don't forget about my friends, and they are my friends at Elliott Services. They became my friend because of Chuck Ely. I needed some work done at the house. Needed an electrician. He came over, did a great job. Needed again because of the VC60 my wife now has, because our system couldn't handle it. We needed work done, and boom, he sent a crew over. They did a spectacular job. I trust them tremendously. And when I find somebody I like, I stick with them. If I need something again, electronically, it's Elliott Services, 100% employee owned. 100% with licensed, background check, non-commission based technicians. They care about Success Extra because it's their company. Residential heating and air services include installation, maintenance, repairs, and replacement, home generator sales, and everything that you need from repairs, replacement, installation, home electrical, handyman services, and anything you need, EV charger installation and maintenance, which we needed, heating and air, you name it, HVAC systems, it doesn't matter what it is. Elliott Service is first class. They've been great for me. 859-255-5788. 859-255-5788. Here's another first-class person, Dr. John Wong. Hello, Doc. How are you? I'm sorry for being late. I got to throw this at you. I went crazy. I don't know if you know at the beginning. This is driving me nuts. Of all the things you can complain about, and let me set it up and then you go. Of all the things to complain about in the football game, and there were plenty, although defense played their fannies off. Wow. You got 14 seconds left, and you don't trust your team to throw the ball in the end zone with 14 seconds left. The fear that they would screw up, that you kick a field goal, it sucks. It stinks. It's chicken. It's just chicken. You practice this, okay? You practice this like, you know, a basketball team will say 5 seconds left in the shot clock, get a shot. You practice it. You trust your quarterback. You take 3 steps back and somebody's coming after you, throw the ball away. Throw it away, throw it away, throw it away. You got 14 seconds. I'm not saying they would have won the game. I have no idea. It's a low percentage play. You gave up on your team. As Stoops says, the paraphrase, I saw it when he said, you know, I couldn't come in here if we didn't get a shot at the field goal. Really? That's what you're worried about? That's baloney. It's BS. It's disgusting. They had 14 freaking seconds, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 7, 14 seconds. It doesn't take 14 seconds to throw the ball in the end zone. And if it doesn't work, then you kick the field goal. It drives me nuts. That really bothered me with Stoops. It was a terrible decision.
You got to settle down a little bit more, Alan. Maybe meditate or something like that. Come on, chill out.
I did this morning. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. I started sweating so bad at the start of the show with a sweatshirt. I took a shower at 11:30. I had to switch my shirt.
Hey, chew on this a little while. I don't think Stoops didn't have confidence in his team. I don't think it wasn't the fact that he doesn't trust his team. I think he didn't trust himself. Because if you look at Stoops and if you look at the history, the litany of blown shot opportunities and clock management and things like that, this was the perfect situation that he would have screwed it up. So I think it was a wise thing. He knew himself. He knew his weaknesses. He knew he was going to screw it up if he let it play out. So he took discretion, better part of valor. He decided to reel it in. I think that's all it was. He didn't trust himself.
That's the worst reason in the world.
No, it's not. You know what they say in the stock market.
That's the most. How long have we known each other? How many hundreds and thousands of hours? I don't know about that. We spent together. That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard you say.
I think past performance is probably the best predictor of how you're going to react in a tough situation. And Stoops always has screwed it up when it comes to clock management. He didn't want to screw it up. I think it's a legitimate.
Okay. This really hurts. Hang on,
Jimmy. By the way, Alan,
Jimmy, wait, Jimmy, stop recording because I don't want this ever to be recorded. I'm going to say that last part was a good point. It really was, and that's why it's lousy coaching. Do whatever is best for the decision at the moment for your TEAM. I really don't disagree with what you're saying, and that's the sad part. I really don't. But right decision is, what are you going to do to be selfless to help your team out? And by the way, I'm not saying he's not selfless. What I'm saying is he's so screwed up in the head is what you're saying, that you have an opportunity at low percentage. I get it.
Yeah, every interview right now is a Saturday Night Live script where Stoops is making sure that he kind of walks on eggshells and doesn't say the wrong things, and make sure he wants to compliment all the fans and the AD and everybody else who's responsible for the situation that he's in. It really is funny. He's a man who's just so guarded that I don't think he's able to say anything that's relevant anymore. And it really is sad. I'll give him this, though. In his news conference today, he didn't sound like a man who was walking the gangplank. It was business as usual. It was vintage Stoops. So I'm not ready to throw in the towel yet, Alan. And nobody should be. I remember Alan Cutler telling me.
Whoa. One, I didn't say I'm throwing in the towel. Two, and I agree with you 100%. He was much better today, and I already said it coming out of the Stoops live presser. I've already said it. I couldn't agree with you more. Let me throw this out. I know you want. I cut you off, but we only have a couple minutes, and then go back to your thought. What you're suggesting is, in my humble opinion, based upon what you said, is he's kind of lost his way. Take the kind of out, because you make a decision not based upon, okay, I've screwed up all these other decisions. You make a decision what's best in that particular moment. And at 14 seconds to go, I'm serious. I'm not trying to be mean or nasty I promise you, Doc. I actually feel sorry for Stoops. And why the hell should I feel sorry for somebody making $9 million a year? Because it's his profession and his life, and he does care. He does care.
He does care. He really does care
tremendously, and I've defended that he lost his way, but he cares. The man really. People say he doesn't care anymore. That's just BS. He's lost his way.
I'm not quite sure that's true, though, because when you look at truly results, they are getting better, right? Cutter is developing.
Two different things. The team is getting better. Let's go back to You're right.
That's what's important. That is the trump card.
What's important is to give your kids every single blank opportunity. I almost said a bad word. And with 14 seconds to go, you take a shot, dude. You take a shot. They end up kicking a 45-yard field goal. Okay, think about where they were. You can throw the ball in the end zone in under 7 seconds.
It got in his head. He was going to see
Dennis
Cutter making a bad decision, getting sacked. And there you go. Then he wouldn't have been able to walk in. He's in a position where he can't win. I mean, the fan base is so disgruntled about anything that he does that even when he does something right, they're saying, hey, he made the wrong decision. Alan, this is something I really remember you saying to me. I was one of the first ones at the beginning of the year to wonder whether Stoops was going to come back or not. And I remember asking you specifically, okay, if they go 4-8, he's out, right? And do you remember what you said? You said, no, not necessarily.
Not necessarily. Depends upon,
you said it depends on how they're playing.
It depends. It's suppose you lose 4 games like by scores like 21-17, 31-28, those kinds of things. Suppose you lose games 56-6. It's totally different. There's nothing that happened Saturday that would cause him to get fired at the end of the year if they win some more games, because they played. Saturday did not get his fanny fired as far as I'm concerned, unless you're taking the overall body. Let's put it this way. They beat Tennessee, and it changes a lot of things around here. It really does, because you beat Tennessee Tech, and now all of a sudden, that is what I said. I stand by it. I still think it. But let's go back to the point. I'm serious, Doc. I think the world of you. In life, now you do stuff helping people out. Okay, I'm being really serious with you for a minute. You do stuff to help people who have some issues and stuff. I'm not saying Stoops has mental issues. I'm not saying that. I am saying this. He has a difficulty in making the right decision because past history is in his head. He needs to meditate. He needs to make the right decision at the moment for the right time. Logic tells you with 14 seconds left to go, you take a shot. That's all. I didn't say with 3 seconds. Didn't say with 5 seconds. You might be able to do it in 7 seconds, but I wouldn't do it either. But this is just plain football. It's one-on-one football, and he's clouded in his judgment based upon what you said. because so many of his decisions have gone bad. He's not free forming his decision making ability. You have to agree. You don't have to do anything.
I do. I agree in a certain respect. He needs a reset, especially from the way that he's approaching it emotionally and mentally. And plus, he's a little bit hampered by the fact that he's not real good and comfortable in front of people, in front of media. He's not the most eloquent guy in the world. I think, especially when he gets all these thoughts pounding in on his head, he has trouble kind of getting it out in a very distinct manner. And that hurts. It really does, because you see him up there struggling, and you and I, we both know that he cares. And just to see him kind of talking circles around himself. I say it's funny. Deep down inside, it's not really funny. Kind of entertaining. I hope that he's going to be able to get it together again. And truly, if they continue to improve, even if they lose a couple more of these games, I think we said at the very beginning of the year, let's judge them on how the team does. The season's not over. Let's see how it plays out.
And I think that's more than fair. And, look, you got young wideouts that are stepping up. Do this, Doc. I'm late. Please give a great plug for what you're doing. It's really cool.
Yeah. Thank you, Alan. We talk about sports, but it's all static. There are a lot more important things in life. Sports is a pleasant distraction. One of the most important things in life is kind of thinking about where we came from. And I'm very fortunate to be part of this kickoff inaugural session of a series called Socrates in the City, Socrates in Kentucky. A very first episode tomorrow at 6:30. It's held at this beautiful venue downtown Lexington called The Vine. If you haven't been out to it, it's a wonderful opportunity to check it out. They'll have some light hors d'oeuvres, and then I am the featured speaker. I talked specifically with the hosts. You were supposed to RSVP a little bit earlier, but they said it's fine if you come in as a last-minute walk-up. So I really want to encourage you. I'm going to be addressing the life-important question of why are we here? Why did the good Lord put us here on this earth? So it'll be fun. And I might mix in a little bit of sports with it too.
Wish you the best of luck. And you just said the nicest thing you've ever said about me, and I got to go after this. You called me a pleasant distraction.
I said sports was a pleasant distraction. I'm not sure about Alan Cutler. I saw you Saturday. I saw you last Friday. I'm going to see you this Friday. I'm going to see you this Saturday. There's a limit to how much Alan Cutler that you can take. Pleasant distraction or not.
Okay, I won't sit next to you Saturday. I'll sit somewhere else.
Okay, you heard it here, man. We'll see if you hold yourself
and you
to that.
had just told me that you missed me sitting next to you. Okay. Okay. You can beg me and I wouldn't sit next to you.
No filter. That's where we're at, right? All right.
Doc, you're the best. Bless you, brother.
All right. Thanks, Alan. Talk to you later. Bye.
Good luck with your speech. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Travis Ford coming up next. Travis Ford. Don't forget about Terry Page, a great licensed massage therapist. 859-373-0578. 859-373-0578. She's in Butler, Kentucky today and tomorrow, in Lexington the rest of the week. She's been spectacular for me. I trust her. She's a healer. 859-373-0578. She helped my neck last Thursday. That was crazy how tight it was, and it was crazy when I was done how much better I felt. Really, it was beautiful. 859-373-0578. Travis Ford coming up next. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler, brought to you by Quantrell Auto Group. QuantrellForLife.com.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. Have a no filter comment? Hit the text line 859.
deal. 0% interest for 36 months. Don't forget, the Quattro family of dealerships is the right place to get your next Subaru, and they promise you the best in sales, service, and no gimmicks.
Boo!
Brett, what are you doing?
I'm getting ready for Halloween.
Well, it looks like your costume's ready, but what about your candy?
Well, you know, Dad and Uncle Rick, at Clark's Pep and Shop, we have some spooky deals. All month long, you can pick up 5-hour energy shots, 2 for $4.99, or Rolade sticks, buy one, get one free.
No tricks, all treats this October. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
I'm Kathy Binkaman. Over the holiday, there was an attempted fraud attack. My personal banker, Mary Rose, and I networked together, and the first thing that I thought of was I have to text her. And it was just within the next few minutes, there was an entire team that came together collectively. And that's just not the type of service that you typically get from your bank.
That's Kathy's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Back to No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler. Podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and Google, Monday through Friday.
Welcome back. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM. He set a record three-point shooting, 44.5%. Wow. Set a school record for a single-season three-point goals with 101 back in 1992-93. All SEC with on the court, all SEC academics, multiple time with each. Pound for pound, one of the great Kentucky players, and more importantly for me, because I'm being selfish, Travis, one of my favorite people to wear Kentucky across their chest. Just a great dude.
Well,
just a great dude. Hello, Travis. Thanks for joining me, man.
Hey, Alan. No, my pleasure. You're awfully nice, and I feel the same. I've always thought you're absolutely the best, and always enjoyed being around you. But that's really kind. I really appreciate it.
And you know what happens? I want people to remember you, because there's 15-year-olds who don't remember you, and they don't remember I did TV 1,000 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're dating us, making me feel old.
Yeah, but compared to me, you're still a kid. God, you know what? You don't look that old. You've aged better. You know, coaches usually look older after all. You know, you only won 469 games. You'd think you'd have more wrinkles in your face.
Yeah. I sure feel old. That's for sure. That's especially when I get up in the morning. That's the old knees and hips. They don't move quite like they used to.
I understand. You know, based upon what you did sweating on the court. But I bet you can still shoot close to 90% from the free throw line if just standing in the arena and shooting. Am I right?
Oh, I can do that now. If I don't have to move, I can still make a couple. That's for sure. Yep.
You know what I'm laughing? You know why I'm laughing? For another reason. Odie Smith, who I know you know, right? And we used to come.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yep.
One time he was out on the court right after one of my early live shots. They let him in super early. He's Odie Smith. He can come in early. And he's in his socks out of respect. And he's shooting free throws. And I don't remember how many he made, Trav, but it's just like he didn't miss. And I said, wow, because he was, as you know, one of the great free throw shooters of his time in the NBA and had a great career at Kentucky. I said, I can't believe you can still do that. He said, just like you, as long as I don't move, I can still shoot.
As long as I don't have to defend anyone or come off a screen, I'm pretty good. I can still make it.
I got you. So you did the SEC game, the blue-white game, and I'm fascinated and curious what you thought of the TEAM.
Yeah, no, and I also had a chance to watch them practice a couple of days before that. And it was fun to watch them because I'd heard a lot about the team. And, you know, as we know, in today's age of college athletics, every year is kind of a new year, a new roster. But quite impressed. I don't think there's any question, you know, when you look at a backcourt of Jalen Lowe and Otega Owe, I don't know if there's a more high-scoring, potented backcourt in America. You know, that from what they've proven they can do at the college level. And then they've got just, you know, Alan, a lot of wings. And I'm talking about guys 2 through 4, really. You're probably thinner at the point guard spot and the center spot, but 2 through 4, there are a lot of options and really good options, whether it be offensively or defensively. I think this team overall has improved itself in a lot of areas, and one I think we will see is defensively. I think they can put some lineups on the court that could be really, really strong.
It seems like Pope did a heck of a job in a short time period last year, and he had more time to learn about the SEC, as smart as he is, and adjust to it. And he had more time in recruiting to fill in the blanks better this year, that they're stronger, they're more athletic. And it's like he took last year's team, great group of kids, and they were really good. And I'll always say if they were healthy, they went deep. They might have gone deeper, but I look at this and I'm going, it's a totally different team, and it's got the potential to be much better. And I'm trying not to hype for the sake of hype, but I look at these kids, and just like you're saying, everyone's saying they're deep.
Yeah. Well, I think you make some really good points that I've talked to a few people since I've been up the last couple of days, that it is a different team. I think it's a different team. In a couple different ways. Obviously, the makeup of the roster, where you look at last year's team, and you mentioned it, I think a lot of their success came from just the chemistry and good guys that, and sometimes you got to just get lucky with chemistry, because you had 13, 14 new guys who had never played together last year, but they were an old veteran team. And I think that was, helped in a lot of the success. And, this year's team is made up of a lot younger guys. There's a lot of sophomores on this team, some really good freshmen, some older guys. Just the makeup of the roster is, age and grade-wise is a whole lot different. I think they're a lot deeper. I think they're a lot more versatile than they were last year. But, again, when you're trying to put together a roster as much as all these coaches are doing every year, you just don't know how the chemistry is going to be until you get probably halfway through it. You can't really tell through preseason practice, because everybody's happy. Nobody understands who's going to play and not going to play. Everybody's still happy through preseason before you start playing the games. But once you start playing the games, is everybody still going to be happy if, I thought I was playing 30 minutes and maybe I'm only playing 18 minutes? How's that chemistry going to be? And those are things to be determined, especially when you have as much talent as Kentucky has right now. Those things are always going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, and I've been saying all along, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you keep all these kids happy, and there'll be some kids who are going to get 18 instead of 25 or 14 instead of 25, and they would deserve it on so many teams. They ain't going to get it. And how do you keep them happy without missing the chemistry? It's a tough fine line. It's difficult for a coach. It's difficult for the kids. I'm not being negative to any. I'm really not. But I've said all along it's going to be as tough as a problem.
Yeah, it will be. And, from a coach's perspective, it's a good problem to have, but it can become a problem. It's something that keeps you up at night as a coach sometimes, just because you want everybody to play. And somebody, again, that may be playing 10 minutes a game is probably deserving of 20 because of how hard they're playing every day, or their attitude's really good, but they may not just be quite as good as the guys in front of him. But it's a good problem to have, and it usually works itself out. Guys kind of start understanding their roles more as you start playing games. And for Kentucky, obviously they're going to be tested really early, with the Purdue's and Georgetowns, especially to kind of get a feel for rotations, because I think that's always big when you got a lot of talent, especially 1 through 10. It's not just playing 10 guys, but what 5 guys play well together. What do your different rotations look like? That is a big, big key. And again, you don't really know it until you start playing against competition.
One of my all-time favorites, Travis Ford, kind enough to join us for a couple of minutes. When you were watching practice, Trav, I'm going to guess with Lowe out, and from Larry Vaught's report yesterday, it might not be nearly as bad as initially thought, which is a beautiful thing. And so you get to try some guys flipping around positions, which I'm sure you only had to do for about close to 30 years. And I wonder if you saw much of like Aberdeen or Jasper Johnson or Chandler playing a little point. I'm going to guess there's always, as you know, the fear factor when something goes wrong by Kentucky fans. I'm going to guess they're going to be in better shape than they were last year with Lowe out.
Yeah, I'd say so. I will say the point guard position is not a deep position again on this team, but I think you've got more options that can play it. I don't know if any of them are true point guards. Even Jalen Lowe is more of a scoring point guard, very much a scoring point guard. One thing I think is a positive, and I don't know how long he's out or if he's out at all. I have no clue. But through Mark's system, you always want a good point guard, but through Mark's system, it's more about passing and cutting, more than necessarily just coming down and setting up and running plays. And from my experience, that's when a true point guard becomes even that much more valuable, when they're having to control everything. Mark lets his guys play, so you could probably get away with it a little more than maybe some systems when you may not have a true point guard out there. But you look at guys, Denzel Aberdeen, Jasper Johnson, Colin Chandler, all these guys can bring the ball up the court, can play the point, can do a lot of different things. I don't know if they have the big guy like Amari Williams, who brought it up a lot last year towards the end of the year when Butler was hurt. They had their center brought it up quite a bit because they play through their five man a lot. I don't know if there's anybody on the team that's going to necessarily do that, but I think you have a lot more guard options to be able to play the point.
And you made a great point, and I couldn't agree with more of the fact that because the ball moves so much, there's a lot of guys 2, 3, and 4, as you were talking about. They're so deep in that. All these guys can handle the ball. They might not be point guards, but they can handle the ball. I just don't think it's going to be as much of a problem as some people think. It's you want the kid in there. You want him to be healthy. You hope it's not something that lingers on. I would imagine he'll be wearing a brace for a while, but I think Kentucky's going to be just fine, I guess is where I was coming from.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. As you said, you want Jalen Lowe out there. You want him healthy. He's a great, proven college basketball player, an all-ACC player last year, but this is Kentucky. You've got other players. If he was your only true, really good player, then it becomes a bigger problem. But you want him out there. He makes your team better when he is healthy, no question. But I think they do have some other really good options that obviously they can play, and it's going to give somebody else an opportunity to play.
Trav, I had asked you this before, and I think it's worth repeating because it's a great story. Your relationship with Mark Pope and how it started, and it's really cool. Yeah,
he when he was leaving Washington and was coming on a visit to Kentucky, we spent a lot of time together on his visit. And he was there. My senior year at Kentucky, it was his sit-out year at Kentucky. So I've always been a big fan of Mark's as a player. He was a hard-working, great player, a really, really great player. And no different than why he was a great player is why he's a great coach. It's because of his work ethic, his attitude. I've enjoyed over the last year or so getting to watch him coach more than I ever have. And a lot of people have asked me what makes him successful. And I said, well, I don't, that would take a lot of time, but I think the biggest thing that makes him most successful is his attitude. He is the most positive person I've ever been around. And believe me, as a coach, your players over time get tired of being around you. I think his attitude doesn't do that. I think his players like being around him all the time, which is a positive. And he always has a positive outlook on everything. He obviously understands the game, knows the game. He's a master in practice. I love watching him in practice, teaching his drills and how they play and how he teaches. It's just a lot of fun. I could go on and on. I've just been really impressed, again, over the last year, watching him from practice to games to watching how he's done recruiting. Just it's been a lot of fun to watch. He's really, really, really good.
Well, basketball misses you. You're going to do some TV work or get back in coaching or tell me to go jump in the lake, which I know you've always wanted to do anyway.
We'll see. I've enjoyed doing a few games TV-wise. I don't think I'm going to do a whole lot. I'm enjoying my free time a little bit, but I enjoy getting back to Lexington quite a bit. This time last year, I would have told you I don't know if I'll get back into coaching, but Alan, I am missing it a little bit more than I have. So I'm getting the itch a little bit. But I'm enjoying, I have spent a lot of time in Lexington, and I'm enjoying that. I enjoy being around the team. I enjoy watching practice. I love going to the games. I'm coming up for the game on Friday against Purdue. I'm not doing the game. I'm going to do the Georgetown game for ESPN, but I'm coming up for the Purdue game. I just enjoy being around so many people like yourself that I get to see and chat and bring back good times, old times, and a lot of friends in Lexington. And so I'm enjoying that. It would have to be something really, really special to get me to stop doing this. It's been a lot of fun this last year.
Well, not that our situations are similar, but they are in an odd way. I had a detox after I retired from TV, and I always wanted to do a sports talk show. Didn't know if it was going to happen, but I was good not doing it for a year, and I was good not doing it for 2 years. And now, end of the month is 3 years. I'm back doing it, and I love it. And I don't know if I would have loved it as much if I went from retiring from TV straight to this. I just don't know. But I think the time away helps a little bit. And I wonder if more coaches, if they could, you got a really good job, and you're at a place you can't say, yeah, I'm going to step away for you, and I'll be back in the air, and we'll see. You just can't do that. You can't do it in broadcasting. You can't do that. I'm going to bet I say soda pop. I don't drink soda. Why do I say that? I'll bet you a cup of coffee the itch gets stronger next year, and I'm happy to be wrong. Because, dude, I couldn't find it quick enough. The picture, you have I think one of the most poignant favorite sports pictures, and I'm sorry I didn't find it quick enough to tease the show on Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Sitting under your dad's chair while your dad was coaching when you were a little tyke. You couldn't have been more than 4. Sitting underneath your dad is one of the prettiest pictures I've ever seen. Dude, you were born for basketball. You just were. You're not the only person who's born for basketball. You were born for basketball. And so you have still a lot to give. Not that you need any advice from me. Let's be real.
Well, I appreciate it very much, and that is my all-time favorite photo for sure of my dad and myself. Absolutely. I was a college head coach for 27 years and really did enjoy every single second of it. The last couple of years were very, very rough, very difficult for several reasons, but very difficult. And, and like you said, the year off was a great perspective. More than anything, basketball is really all I've ever done. From playing, I did it 365 days a year when I played. I never took any time off. And as a coach, you have no time off. And I've kind of enjoyed seeing what else is out there kind of to do and spending time with my family. And I got to spend some time, a lot more time, obviously, with my dad before he passed. And that was an absolute blessing. But I've enjoyed kind of just seeing what life has to offer outside basketball. But with that said, I do miss it now. I do miss it more than I did 7-8 months ago. And, I was approached by about several coaches to come help them be special assistants and do something like that. And that's something that I might enjoy doing because I miss the practices. I miss working with players individually. I miss watching film. One of the most favorite things I love doing was preparing my team for games, putting together a scouting report. I absolutely love that and miss that. So that, if I get back in as a head coach, we'll see. But there may be something else out there that several coaches have approached me about that I might do just to be a part of the game, be a part of the team, and be able to help in any way that I possibly can. But, right now I'm enjoying spending time with family. I'm enjoying hanging out in Lexington quite a bit and seeing different people. So we'll just take it one day at a time.
Smart. We're going to end with a smile. You ready for the smile I'm about to give you?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, come on.
I love it.
Don't be suspicious on this one. If we know each other well enough, I can see him going, well, it's Cutler. Maybe yes, maybe no. This is, I probably.
That's great. That's great.
I have a message from you from Scott Boley, Cutter's dad.
Oh.
And I didn't know this. One, he said, make sure I say hi. And I did not know. and this is, I'm not trying to get you emotional. I'm trying to put a smile on your face because it's natural. I didn't know he played in Europe on the tour that your dad did. And Richie Farmer played on that, and Boo Boo played on that. And he said, make sure you say hi. And your dad affected so many kids and stuff like that. I'm not trying to get you choked up, but I'm trying to share. This was 1987. I knew Scott played at Western and stuff like that, but I had no idea he went with your dad on the tour. So when we're done, I hope that puts a smile on your face. I thought it was pretty cool.
It puts a smile on my face because it's interesting, Alan, because this is crazy. Gosh, what? A month and a half, 2 months ago, I kept hearing Cutter Bowley, and I follow Kentucky football as best I can. I was like, Cutter, I said, Bowley, could that be Scott Bowley's son? I had no idea. I just, could it be? Because Scott was always one of my dad's favorites. My dad loved Scott Bowley. And I started just going through the internet trying to find out, is Cutter Bowley, Scott Bowley? And I was like, well, it sure is. What are I just, out of the blue, trying to put two and two together. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad he checked in. That's great.
It is great. It is great. It shows, your dad's effect is still here. That was 1987. Whew.
Yeah, how time flies. Good grief. That's crazy. But, yeah, that was a great team. That was a neat team with Boo and Richie and Scott. I mean, it was a lot of really good players, great guys as well, for sure.
Trav, that was so long ago. I didn't even have any gray hair. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah, I understand. Believe me.
Hey, you're the best. Hopefully we can visit down the road. It's just good hearing your voice.
Yes.
I think the world of you. I mean, pound for pound, you're as good as it gets when it comes to anywhere wearing Kentucky across their chest. And that's how I've always felt. And I'll shout it out to the world because it's true. So bless you, man. Hope to catch you down the road, and appreciate you joining me.
I always enjoy it. Means a lot. I really, really appreciate it, Alan. Thanks so much.
Thanks, man. Have a great day.
You too, man. Thanks.
Thanks. Jimmy, he's always been one of my favorites, literally. And I know I say it. I have a lot. Travis, there's something about Travis when you watch a young person who's, he's not the only one dedicate their whole life to a sport, but he literally, with his dad, I'm going to refine that picture. I used it for a tease the last time he was on. He's sitting underneath his dad's chair when Eddie was coaching.
I looked it up while you were describing the picture. I looked it up and I found it. That has to just be the coolest picture that you can have like a father-son moment. And then he gets into coaching. That's cool.
When I met him, I knew he was getting to coaching. And by the way, that didn't take a genius on my part. It didn't take a genius. And he and Eddie were so close. They were so close. Thank you, Trav. Appreciate it. Let me suggest if you need any work done with an electrician, you call Elliott Services. And I can say that because Elliott Services took care of me and us. And it's because of Chuck Ely. I mean, we needed work done a number of years ago in the house, and a friend recommended Chuck, and he came in, did a great job, and then we started talking. We've sort of become buds, and we've talked a couple times since, and then we needed work done for Judy's XC60, the beautiful Volvo hybrid that we now have, and we needed to get it taken care of for installation and a charger, and they came and did it. His crew was clean, neat, polite. They were great. They were great. I can highly recommend them. It's a 100% employee-owned company. Their success on the job is the success in their company. Residential heating and air conditioning services include installation, maintenance, repairs, replacement, you name it. Home generator services, sales, including everything. Installation, maintenance, repairs, replacements, whatever you need. HVAC system, EV charger installation and maintenance. And Chuck was telling me they do a ton of that. I can see it. Heating and air preventative maintenance programs, multi-point inspections, whatever you need. In this area, they do big jobs, small jobs, whatever. I just like how their people are vetted. They're terrific, and they were so polite. Elliott Services, 255-5788, 859-255-5788. Alan Cutler, 1300 AM, 92.5 FM.
No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler, brought to you by Quantrell Auto Group. QuantrellForLife.com.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. Have a no filter comment. Hit the text line 859-381-1313. 859-381-1313.
Houchins Insurance Group is proud to partner with Auto Owners Insurance, a company that provides opportunity for independent agents to make insurance simple for their clients, offering risk management services that range from a renter's policy for your college student to home and auto coverage for your entire family. Houchins Insurance Group assures you that nobody works harder to keep you protected from life's uncertainties.
Reach out to AJ Boss or Zach Bennett at 859-263-2771 to see if Auto Owners Insurance makes sense for you.
Hi, this is Alan Cutler. The Quantrill Auto Group has a great deal for this month. Subaru. The Outback is special, so check this out. 0%. That's right, 0% interest for 36 months. And if you want to spread it out to 72 months, 1.9%. What a deal. 0% interest for 36 months. Don't forget, the Quattro family of dealerships is the right place to get your next Subaru, and they promise you the best in sales, service, and no gimmicks.
Great selection of snacks is holding steady while the drive-thru service is rounding out the pack. They're rounding the turn, and it's Clark's Pump and Shop for the win!
Get in the winner's circle with Clark's Pump and Shop. Stop by and pick up 5-hour energy shots, 2 for $4.99, or Rolade sticks, buy one, get one free. Clark's Pump and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
I'm Kathy Binkaman. Over the holiday, there was an attempted fraud attack. My personal banker, Mary Rose, and I networked together, and the first thing that I thought of was I have to text her. And it was just within the next few minutes, there was an entire team that came together collectively. And that's just not the type of service that you typically get from your bank.
That's Kathy's story. Now let's get to work on yours. Republic Bank. Time to thrive. Member FDIC.
Back to No Filter Radio with Alan Cutler. Podcasts on Apple, Spotify, and Google, Monday through Friday.
We're getting better, and I know that's, you could look at the bottom line, and we all do. It's a bottom line business, and I understand that as much as anybody. I've been around a long time, but I really care about the way they approach things, the way they invest, how they work, and the improvement that we're making. And we've improved each and every week, through this SEC schedule.
I believe that, by the way. They are getting better. Will it be good enough? And I love how hard these kids play. I love how hard they played. I thought the defense was amazing. It was amazing. So you have a defensive coach who didn't trust, and I'll get more into this tomorrow, didn't trust his defense to make a stop and kick a field goal on the fourth down. That's why I would have done it. I just can't believe they kept on doing the same things in the middle. I just can't believe they did it. I couldn't believe that they did it. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. And I tell you, not on first down, but before the ball was snapped on second down, Jimmy, this is before your time period. I'm in the corner of the end zone. Mark Higgs, it was a great tailback for Kentucky. Had the thickest thighs I've ever seen on a tailback. Everybody will tell you that. And he could leap. And DeMarty Dawson in the Hall of Fame was on that line. Okay? It was a really good offensive line. They had 4 cracks to score, and they couldn't score from the 1-yard line. And I'm in the corner of the end zone, and I'm saying they got Tennessee beat. They got him beat. I didn't even doubt that Higgy wouldn't get in, and he never got in. And talking about a balloon getting popped, there was an air of anticipation standing in the corner of the end zone. People ready to explode, beating Tennessee. You're there. You've got it. And they didn't do it. And, Jimmy, before the ball was snapped for second down, I said to myself, this is terrible. This is what I thought. Oh, no, this can't be another Mark Higgs. And I'm not knocking the tailbacks on this year's team. They got some good tailbacks. None of them are Mark Higgs. Not being negative. Mark Higgs was Mark Higgs. Played in the NFL a long time. DeMarty Dawson's the NFL Hall of Fame. It was a good line. Okay? And Kentucky said, you know what we're going to do? We don't give a blank. We're going to do it. We are going to do it. And they didn't. And you got a running quarterback. You got a guy that's mobile. Let him roll out. Let him fake. Draw the line in. Flip the ball to a tight end. Do something with a little creativity. By the way, did you see Vandy scored a touchdown in the same play the other day? Pavia fake. Rope. I don't remember if it was a tight end or wide receiver. Wide open in the end zone. Wide open in the end zone. Wide open in the end zone. Drove me crazy. Thank you to Travis Ford. Appreciate you, brother. Really do. He really is one of my he's just a great human being who happened to be all SEC on the court and in the classroom multiple times on each. Jonathan Davis, man, that was fun. Doc, appreciate you tremendously. We had the Stoops press conference live, so the podcast will be up by 2:30. Check it out. Thank you for listening anywhere in the country. Thank you for listening to the podcast after the show is over. Appreciate you all. Big time, big time, big time, big time. And I appreciate Blue Lotus Health big time. 859-533-0914. Ramon Carriega, now also providing a licensed massage therapist. He's great. Use my name, on Versailles Road. Acupuncture has helped me tremendously. I used to be uptight doing it, and now it seems like I'm almost or definitely falling asleep when it happens, which lets the body heal even more. Check them out, Blue Lotus Health, 859-533-0914. Brad Terrell coming up next, Matthew and Jimmy at 10. I'll be back tomorrow at noon. Included in that will be one ticked off former cat, Chris Chenault. Oh, no, Jeremy Carlos tomorrow with Chip Rupp. Yeah, Chenault's later on in the week. So that'll be a fun show. Jimmy, as always, thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you for listening. Please tell your friends. You guys are doing that. That's a huge reason why this show continues to expand and expand and expand. And I hope I say thank you enough, and I think I don't say thank you enough. Have a